So this is my buddy's 1980 KDX175, and it's taken apart because he bought the bike, and the guy thought that it only had bad main bearings, but it was actually the crank shot. He thought it was the main bearings, but it's crankshaft bearing right here. You can see there's some parts missing, and it's really notchy, but he doesn't have the money to fix it, so we're gonna put it together and just see how it runs anyways. And
we got it when it wasn't running, so
this is just gonna be a little documentary kind of how to put it back together. So
and
first thing is these, coming closer, these this is the crankshaft seal, or the crank seal, whatever you want to call it. There are two of them, both the same, both do the same thing. So we're gonna start by, now normally you'd heat this up. We already did. It's kind of cooling down, but it doesn't help much anyways, because you can't put this in until the end. You don't want to heat this up while this is, in there, because the flame directly on the rubber is going to melt it. So can't really do much about that, but you're just going to put this in, and it goes in. Let me show you guys. It goes in like this. This part here goes down, so it goes down in like that, and just get it in evenly.
And it seems like 20% now too.
And you push it down, I don't care. And then kind of go around the edge of it with a socket, kind of tap it in the rest of the way. Make sure it's nice and even.
I heard the ice cream on.
Till it's bottomed out, like that. And then I'm going to kind of clean this out. And here's the bearing. So we're just going to drop the bearing in now and get that started evenly. Just start tapping it in. Now it is easier if you freeze the bearing in your freezer than you heat the case up, but these are used bearings, so they're not that hard to get back in. Metal hammer. As long as you're hitting on the outside, it doesn't really matter.
Got the now. Oh,
Like I said, it'd be a lot easier if this was a heated up around here and the bearing was frozen. But whatever, this works. As long as it's in flush, and it is. Then I'm gonna give it a tap with this a couple times right in the middle. It's not gonna hurt that much. These bearings are old, so if this is a new engine, do it the freeze and the heating up method, but right now it doesn't really matter. And that's in all the way.
It's actually spinning pretty nice too.
Yeah, we didn't damage the bearing at all. And we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. So we can show you guys how you do this. Just heat this up a little bit.
Stopped over his head, by the way. I wanted to get rid of stuff. Oh, I'm home. Stupid.
Alright, so now that we got this in, other crank seal, this is kind of hot in here, so I'm going to try not to burn myself. And then same thing, kind of tap it in with socket the rest of the way. Whenever you tap any seal or bearing or anything in, always do it from the outside edge. Make sure that's kind of flush. Yeah, that's flush. We're going to wipe it out in case anything fell in there. Then this bearing, same thing.
Sorry about that.
Drops in. Ow. Alright. And then just a little bit that's left with this. Yeah, I can go one more. Or two. That's all the way in.
It spins nice?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
And then now we'll move on to transmission. So this is not that hard to do. So we figure out what side I want to assemble it from. You can put it in from both sides. Let me see. Let me get the. Do I want to get this piece? Let me see.
Oops. Well, I mean, it should work. Oh, stopped. It should work for a little while. I mean, that's really what's going to be spinning the freaking bearing. It's going to be these main ones. What are these called? I forget.
Main bearings.
This says NSK Japan.
Yeah.
These original?
No, I don't know. The only bearings that people buy are bearings from Japan anyways. Yeah, I'm just gonna assemble the crank, or the gears, the transmission from this side of the case. So what I'm gonna do first is I had a syringe, where to go?
There.
Full of oil, and just gonna put a little bit of oil on these bearings. Just a little bit for right now. Drop some inside here. Put a little bit of oil in these holes here and in here. Now, transmission. I'll show you guys these pieces. This is your transmission. This is the whole thing. This is how it looks. You have
Shift
forks, and these are dirty, but we're going to change the oil after the first ride anyways. Well, the second ride if it makes it, or the first ride if it makes it, so you can ride it a second time.
Hoping I can ride it at least 2 or 3 times.
And there are 2 of these pins. I have 3 because we have an extra set of cases, and that's where the other one is from. But
somewhere over here?
No, they're all the way over there, but just come here. So now, this is probably the easiest way to get this assembled. So you're going to take the transmission like this, and you're going to line up these gears like this. Now you got to find your shift forks. So there's going to be 2 on one side and 1 on the other side. And the one with 2, these are the 2 ones. These are big. You can see. Now they're only going to go on one way. So this one has a bigger opening in here. That goes on the top. And this one has a smaller opening. That goes on the bottom. And this one has the smallest, and that's going to go on this side. Like this. And then here, let's just put that there, hold it from that side, hold it from that side, so it doesn't tip when I put this in.
That's really hot.
And basically just try and drop this in.
Let's see it by a little bit.
But the gears are going to fall off like that. It's a lot easier if I take this and move it like this. Kind of put that there. Now this isn't very easy to do. I mean, anyone can do it, it just takes a couple tries. This is the only part that sucks. And right now, as you can see, I'm struggling to get this in. Now I gotta line up this gear in the bottom that fell off, so I'm just gonna kind of poke a screwdriver in there and push it into place, and then lift this back up. I'm just gonna spin it until I can get it all the way in. You just gotta jiggle it around a bunch until you can get it to go into its place.
Maybe why?
As you see, I'm losing all the shift forks. Yeah, I don't need that one right now. So as you guys can see, this isn't the funnest part to do, or the easiest. But if you get it lined up, then you drop it in. And you spin it around until that's all in like that. Then you grab this one. Shift fork lives there. And this one lives up here. Now these are only going to go on one way, so don't worry about it. You can't really put this on backwards. Then this gear slides on and meshes with that. Grab these pins, kind of push these aside for now, because we have to get our shift drum inside. So that kind of pops in like that. And then, yeah, kind of move that.
See what height it needs to be at.
This one was a problem last time too. Take that one off. So yeah, you gotta really jiggle around with this stuff and get it to work. Right now what I'm doing is lifting this up just a little bit, just so I can move this in. Because you gotta get this in the hole down there and get that shift fork inside of the notch, one of the notches on this.
Well, it will if it goes back down now.
Oh, this is being stupid.
Now it's in.
Yeah, but I don't think that gear's in down there. There we go. So that is going to go in one of the grooves. You just got to find the grooves. They only go in one way. Record over here. Well, you're just kind of like aim it towards here. And then you drop these pins in. Yeah, bring it over here. We gotta line all of these little pins that you see right here into the shift drum right here. So you gotta lift up, jiggle them around, get them in. Once they're in, you drop these pins with their shift fork into the other end of the case. Oh, that fell out again. And you'll see what I mean. This will only go together one way, so you can't really mess it up. That's all the way in. Now this is how you check and see if it works, is you spin it, you kind of hold both sides where you put the sprocket on and here so they don't move. Then you spin this and you'll feel it shift. You'll see it shift, and may not want
Oh, because you have it
to
on
go
angle.
in right away. And you just shift it through all the gears. And that's neutral because I'm holding the sprocket, the counter shaft, and spinning this, and it's working. And so this is all working. I'm going to assemble it in neutral. And we're at 15 minutes. So we're going to make a part 2 now. So we'll see you guys in part 2. We're going to put the crank in and get this case slammed together. So, alright.